Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Well, the disinformation campaign continues, and it would appear that myself, as well as this channel, are now under attack. This all comes after a new article that was just released on a tabloid website called theinquisitor.com. Came out talking about the recent UFO event in Turkey that we reported on. Now, if you don't know, or if you haven't seen the videos, and it's likely impossible that you hadn't seen them, a couple days ago, Twitter blew up with people talking about seeing lights over the country of Turkey, seeing them in multiple cities spanning hundreds of kilometers. At the time, we had very little information, but I was receiving hundreds of messages from people asking me what was going on and if I would post a video about it. And sure enough, when I got on Twitter, I saw many of the same things that you did. I saw many pictures being posted of these lights, moving in formation over the country. I saw many tweets and messages from people asking what was going on, providing their testimony as to what they had seen, and overall, just hoping to get some answers. So I posted a video. I gave all the information that I could. I basically explained to you guys that there was a purported mass UFO sighting over Turkey. There were about 20 pictures posted, and that there was a hashtag going around that became the #1 trending topic on Twitter worldwide, and that was the hashtag UFO attack to Turkey. So I posted that video with very little information and told you guys I would update you. And at the time, I said that I wasn't sure if it was real, I wasn't sure if it was a hoax, I didn't know what was going on, but I definitely wanted to bring it to your attention because that's what we're about here. We research things like this and we get the word out in order to verify whether something's real or not, or to get new pieces of footage or photos of a purported sighting. So I posted that video and I followed social media that entire night. And when I had a little bit more information, I posted a second video, an update video, where again, I provided some more photographs that had been posted to Twitter of these lights and commented on the overall viral nature of this story as it spread throughout social media, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, at the time, I also had brought up the fact that many people had been messaging me that Twitter was censoring tweets about this UFO event. Pictures were going missing. People's tweets and messages were vanishing. After people had watched my first video, they went to Twitter to see what they could find, only to find out that many of the tweets that I had spoken about were now removed, or were missing. And yes, indeed, this did happen. There was widespread censorship about this story, make no doubt about it. And again, in that video, I explained to my viewers that with the thousands of people talking about this, the multiple images being posted online, and the fact that I had personally spoken to countless people who had said that they had witnessed these lights or who had family that had witnessed these lights, at the time I felt confident that this was indeed a legitimate story. However, I also said that if it were to be a hoax, it would be one of the most elaborate hoaxes that I had ever seen. And indeed, at that time, there were reports that it may have been a hoax or a, quote, social media experiment. But still, due to the fact that I watched with my very own eyes this censorship happening on Twitter and other social media platforms, and had received so many messages from people confirming the sighting, that I did not believe it to be a hoax. But I left it up to you guys, and I told you I would update you further if I had any new information. So just a few moments ago, I had a viewer send me a link to an article that was just posted online. And the article, which was posted by a well-known internet tabloid, basically goes on to say that this UFO sighting in Turkey was nothing more than a hoax, and that a certain, quote, UFO expert said that the purported Turkish pictures were from old photographs and that the entire event had been debunked. What also struck me as quite interesting is that I myself am mentioned in this article, as well as Secure Team. Now, Of course, I could understand that, seeing as I'm the first YouTuber to actually break the story on YouTube, which of course went viral after I posted the videos about it. But the article goes further, and well, I'll go ahead and read it to you here. It says, quote, "Over the past few days, the hashtag UFO attack on Turkey had trended on Twitter, but as that was happening, UFO expert Scott Brando had gone to work, checking to see if these sightings were legitimate, or another attempt to shock people with bizarre yet ultimately fake news." The article then goes on to state, quote, "As it turns out, the original UFO attack on Turkey story came from SecureTeam.FR, a UFO, quote, hoax site with its own YouTube channel. The video of the alleged UFO sighting has since garnered close to 500,000 views. A second video promoting an update on the original report has also gotten tons of attention. The channel administrator, Tyler, tried to clarify his intentions in posting the first video, as well as the rise and fall of the UFO attack on Turkey as a trending hashtag. And that is true. I did post 2 reports on this event, as were many other people who were reporting on it, trying to get answers. The article then goes on to restate what I had originally asserted in my video, which is that I highly doubted that it was a hoax, which I did. The article then goes on to say that he also insinuated that censorship is the reason why the hashtag had lost its spot as the top trending topic on Twitter, even suggesting that it's an example of how the media is controlled by the government and that they may be hiding something the people shouldn't know about. Well, you know what, let me just stop this right here. The person who wrote this article obviously has no idea what the hell he's talking about. It has been confirmed that the government has its hand in the mainstream media. It has been confirmed that the government lies to its people, particularly with regards to UFOs and the alien phenomenon. And this has been proven and testified to by some of the very former military and government personnel who were in charge of it. So the article then goes on to state why the UFO event was a hoax, and apparently this guy named Brando, which by the way, I've heard of this guy before, he has got a major hard-on for me and every UFO researcher online. He claims that everybody who has a popular UFO research channel on YouTube is a, quote, hoaxer, and has targeted myself and Secure Team and many other researchers countless times before, putting out various pieces of slanderous information, attacking our credibility, attacking us personally, and basically doing anything he could to throw dirt on honest researchers out here. The guy is a major troll, major hater, and I have had serious doubts and questions about just who this guy really is, who he works for, and what his agenda is. But I digress. The article goes on to describe how this guy, Brando, discovered that the UFO Turkey event was nothing but a big hoax that was perpetrated by a Turkish Facebook group called Goy Goy Rail. And apparently, the group had posted a statement in Turkish on Monday confessing that the UFO attack on Turkey was just a hoax, and something they had pulled off for, quote, fun. Really. Something you had pulled off for fun. Now, another side note here, what else is also extremely hilarious and contradictory is when the article then in the very next paragraph goes on to state, and I quote, "Cover up or not, it does appear as if Twitter has removed all tweets pertaining to the now debunked UFO attack on Turkey. Sensing the potential of fake news, it would appear as if the microblogging service acted quickly to nip things in the bud." Scrolling down to the end of the article, it says, quote, "In conclusion, Brando believes that Secure Team is, quote, the worst among UFO hoaxers, not only because of how the claimed UFO attack on Turkey went viral, but also because of the YouTube channel's massive popularity. Currently, the account has over 600,000 subscribers." So, there you have it. Again, first of all, this Brando guy, You just got a first-rate piece of evidence that goes to what I said earlier, which is that he's a sore loser and a hater who can't stand that SecureTeam grew in popularity while his own UFO research page did not. And again, this guy came out of the woodwork maybe a year or two ago, almost appearing out of nowhere, and began his attacks on various YouTubers and UFO researchers across the web, and has basically claimed that if a piece of UFO footage is featured on a moderately popular YouTube channel, then it must be a fake. Then again, I guess if it was featured on his channel, which barely has a heartbeat, then I guess the videos must be genuine. So, the attacks start, as they usually do, and as I said they would. Now, if you remember, when I posted these original videos about this UFO Turkey event, my exact words were that I have no idea what's going on, but I'm going to report to you what I find. And that's exactly what I did. And if you saw those videos, I'm sure you will agree that there's nothing in those videos that is disingenuous or hoax-worthy. I reported on the news and what was happening. Furthermore, I also said that indeed I did believe the event to be real, specifically because the online chatter about it was being censored. And this was way before there had been any talk about this possibly being a hoax. This was just as the sighting had occurred. Tweets going missing, people being censored, the hashtag being at the top of the trending list and then disappearing before we knew anything, including Mr. Brando here, the quote, UFO expert that nobody's ever heard of. And like many true UFO researchers, I reported on it. You're damn right I did. And at the time, I did say that it looked as if it was a real thing. And I also said that my best guess was that one of two things would happen. Either the government would come out and say that this was some sort of military drill, or that someone or some media outlet would come out and label this as a hoax, which is something that they have done before during other legitimate UFO sightings. This is one of the many ways that they cover these things up. And so Mr. Brando's big heaping pile of evidence here that this was a hoax was that out of all the pictures that were posted online of these lights, he found that 2 of them were actually old photographs from other older UFO sightings. His other piece of evidence is the fact that some guy on Facebook came out and admitted to the hoax. And again, I'll read you what he said here in the article. Let's see. The group that posted a statement in Turkish on Monday confessing to the hoax said that it was something that they had pulled off for fun. So yeah, that is some concrete evidence. And granted, there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of people posting online, talking about what they had seen, posting pictures. And so of course you're going to get jokesters who try to upload other photos or try to spread disinformation, because that's exactly what we saw. Almost immediately after this occurred, we saw not only censorship of this story, but we also witnessed disinformation being pumped out on Twitter. And so I have no doubt that some of the photos that were posted online were not connected. But as any good government psyop spook will tell you, disinformation is one of the top tools in diluting and eventually destroying a legitimate story. Censorship being the second. And we were seeing both of those as this was happening. Now, furthermore, the fact that some person on some Turkish Facebook page or some state-run Turkish news outlet claimed that they had hoaxed this and that they had did it for fun, well, again, take it with a grain of salt. We don't know who this person is, and for all we know, this is part of the disinformation campaign, and is just like I said would happen, which was that someone would come out and claim that it was a hoax, and we would all go back to sleep and not worry about it anymore. And that's just what has happened. So really, this article has proven nothing. Mr. Brando, the self-described UFO expert, has proven nothing. And it shows you the hypocrisy of some of these online news, quote, news outlets who will publish slander about you and your YouTube channel, calling you a hoaxer and laughing at you when you talk about the government's censorship of things that it doesn't want you to talk about, and in the same breath admit and confirm that this censorship did happen and that Twitter was scrubbing any and all mentions of this UFO sighting from their website. Funny, isn't it? And let me be clear here, it is not Twitter's job to erase tweets and messages and talk about a UFO sighting, whether it turns out to be a hoax or not. There have been countless internet hoaxes that have gone viral on Twitter in the past, none of which have been censored, none of which had messages deleted, none of which began silencing people not more than minutes after this event first hit the web. And yet, for some reason, they chose to censor everybody after finding out that this was a hoax. Something doesn't smell right here, and I think you guys would agree. I've spoken many times about the ongoing disinformation and misinformation campaigns that have been going on, perpetrated by the very people who want to keep us in the dark about the UFO phenomenon. And you're getting a first-hand look at it right here in this article. And you can see how quickly a channel like ours can be targeted and attacked after doing nothing more than reporting on a breaking news story and talking about things that were at the very same time being censored on another social media platform. And because we had already gotten the word out to hundreds of thousands of people who continue to message me about this censorship, continue to message me about what they saw, not only over Turkey, but across the entire world. This stuff is happening. I post videos on it every day. I receive videos featuring it every single day. Secure Team is as popular as it is because of our integrity, because we report on real things, because we don't have to waste time making UFO hoaxes in order to report the news. There's plenty of real, legitimate strangeness happening in the world at any given second, and that's what we report on. And that is why we are the #1 UFO research channel on YouTube and online. And since we have become popular, the trolls and the haters have come out of the woodwork. And believe me, some of these shadowy people are extremely suspect and should be treated as such. People that do not want me to have a voice and to have an audience as big as I have. People who at every turn have attempted to slander this channel and other channels like it. Any channel that has a growing audience, they target. They're on the list. It has been proven that our very own government finances many of these disinformation campaigns. And I'm going to post a link to an article down in the video description, which will go into detail proving just that. So you have a lot of trolls out here, a lot of people whose intentions and whose agendas are questionable at best. And I will tell you now, I don't know whether this UFO in Turkey sighting was a hoax. I don't know if it was real. But I will tell you one thing. The thousands upon thousands of people who had their tweets and messages deleted, those were real. The thousands of people who have messaged me, tweeted to me, and emailed me while this event went on and who saw these lights for themselves, those were real. When the UFO attack on Turkey hashtag went from the #1 trending position worldwide to not even appearing in the top 20 just 15 minutes later, that was real. And finally, our viewers, our fans, and the researchers all over the world who have come out and made it their mission to investigate this phenomenon and uncover the truth, and who have faced this same type of slander, this same type of hating and trolling and mocking on a constant basis, they are real. I will continue to report on this phenomenon. I will continue to publish footage that is captured and sent to me. I will continue to investigate the things that they do not want investigated. And I will continue to bring this channel to the forefront of ufology, and I will not stop. Ignore the haters and make up your own mind. And remember that there is censorship. And when it comes to this Turkey UFO sighting, the whole truth is definitely not being told. I appreciate all of your support, and we will continue moving forward. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all back very soon.